and welcome to the 69th episode in our AI and You podcast series. Today is Tuesday, August 10th, 2021, and I'm your host, Vicar Saidi. I'm a computer scientist and engineer, a lecturer, and a consultant. I'm also the author of several books. My most recent book is about artificial intelligence and is titled The Genome Affair. The Genome Affair is a speculative work. It examines what the world might be like if some of the more extraordinary capabilities forecast to be realized in AI over the next 20 to 30 years were actually realized today. Given the growing list of frightening existential threats humankind now faces, the book pays particular attention to the impact AI is expected to have on world affairs. The book is available in ebook format for those who prefer to read on a digital device, but it's also available in a high-quality paperback edition. The Genome Affair is available on Amazon, so I hope you'll take the time to read it and to leave a review. Amazon book reviews are very helpful for writers. I'm very interested in how science and technology influence world affairs and the big questions facing humankind. Studying at the confluence of the great disciplines of human history, political science and thought, international affairs, science and technology offers a deep understanding and pedagogically important lessons of how advances in human endeavor have influenced and impacted civilization. I'm available to give talks on artificial intelligence and its related technologies, and on the impact AI is expected to have, or is already having, on our world. If you'd like to get in touch with me to arrange a web-based event or consulting meeting with your company or organization, you can find my contact info in the podcast notes below. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with others if you find the content valuable. Thank you. And now, on to today's podcast. In our last podcast, episode 68, I spoke about the concerns many in society have about the risks artificial intelligence might pose to our safety and security in the future. In today's podcast, episode 69, I'll continue with our last topic of trust and fear by providing more insights into the development of regulations at the state and federal levels in the United States and the European Union. Let's get started. With so many alarming news reports discussing the rapid permeation of artificial intelligence within society, citizens are justifiably concerned about what a future shared with ubiquitous AI might be like. Contemporary reports detail horrific crashes involving autonomously navigated vehicles built by industry-leading manufacturers. Others trigger trepidation around AI agents used to predict our performance in a particular job, predictions that are later incorporated into an employer's hiring decisions. Still more reports raise concerns about the use of AI agents to make decisions about whether to give people loans or the terms under which any loans are given. These AI agents are so sophisticated and use such large volumes of data in their analysis of job or loan candidates that no one really understands how they have reached their conclusions. There is growing concern that significant bias inherent in demographic, gender, and race metrics collected over long periods of time may have been introduced in these modern systems during the machine learning phase when the AI agents were being trained for their task. Even in areas where AI seems to be serving in an indisputably noble capacity, such as in the diagnosis of cancer or other disease, both citizens and professionals are worried that current datasets do not adequately represent all patients' ethnic or racial background. The response from state and local governments across the U.S. has been slow to come, but it has begun. In early 2021, the Massachusetts state legislature passed laws around the use of facial recognition software in criminal investigations. Other legislatures in the American Northwest have taken a more aggressive approach by completely prohibiting the use of facial recognition technology or requiring consent before this or any other biometric data can legally be collected. But given the rapid development and deployment of artificial intelligence across so many industries and facets of society, a more formal and well-coordinated national response will be required if we are to be successful in containing the growing list of threats posed to society by powerful but poorly understood and unregulated AI agents. America's federal, state, and local governments can learn a great deal from studying the European Union's proposals for the regulation of AI. This past April, the European Union released a new set of carefully considered, coordinated, and systematic regulatory statutes to oversee the use of artificial intelligence across the continent. These proposed statutes are at the forefront when compared to AI legislation contemplated anywhere in the developed world, and there is hope that this framework of governance will soon be enacted. In so doing, it will successfully restrict some of the more nefarious uses of AI currently under development. It will result in a ban on some form of advertising and on the use of indiscriminate facial recognition by public authorities for law enforcement purposes. But many thought leaders and observers of current developments in artificial intelligence argue that the EU regulatory regime currently under consideration is not nearly adequate to effectively protect society. Dangerous applications, including non-consensual AI agents used for emotion recognition, ethnicity determination, lie detection, and mental health diagnoses, currently fall outside the EU's proposed regulatory regime. There's also considerable risk of discrimination in sensitive areas including education, employment, financial credit scores, and public assistance programs. In these and similar cases, the EU will require companies to provide formal documentation to demonstrate and confirm that the AI agents are fair and non-discriminatory. Violators will face substantial fines from supervisory authorities in each EU member state for non-compliance. The regime's critics continue to argue that a key underlying principle, that some uses of AI are simply too dangerous and harmful to be permitted, must be the guiding principle of the global debate underpinning AI regulation. Although considerably behind the EU, the US federal government is also working towards establishing basic standards for the regulation of AI. But so far, the dangers of discriminatory or unsafe AI agents and systems doesn't seem to be a significant priority for the new US administration. In fact, many concerned advocates from across the civil rights and technology policy spectrum have recently voiced their concerns about the lack of any formal agenda regarding the implications of AI on society. To the contrary, executive orders and regulatory guidance instituted by the Trump administration, which constrain U.S. government agencies in setting policy priorities, remain in place. On the state level, progress on the development of a meaningful regulatory regime is more encouraging. Credible proposals are now being debated in both California and Washington, with the capacity to regulate public contracts involving AI-based products and services. The California law in particular shares some DNA with the European approach, as well as with the Canadian model, which emphasizes algorithmic impact assessment. The Canadian model is designed to mitigate bias and unfairness in AI agents employed in public administration. The California law will require vendors supplying AI agents to state agencies to provide a detailed data management plan that makes algorithms explainable to even a novice audience and to prevent discriminatory practices. Although the signs at the state level are encouraging, a significant stumbling block remains at the U.S. federal level. Thus, it's imperative that the Biden administration work with the European Union on a seamless AI policy and regulatory regime that requires all parties, as per the European Union Declaration, to provide high-quality data, documentation, and traceability, transparency, human oversight, accuracy, and robustness for every high-risk AI system. Thank you for spending some time with me. I'm trying to follow the TED Talk format, and so I'm keeping these podcasts under 20 minutes. Let me know what you think. I hope you'll find these insights into artificial intelligence helpful, and I hope you'll read my new book, The Genome Affair. It's on Amazon. Until next time then, this has been the AI and You podcast with author Vikar Saidi.